What is up, everybody? Emmett Ferguson here, making this video review of Choose Yourself, the James Altucher story, the video review of episode 6. Episode 6 is about the concept of the seven. It's an absolutely amazing title for this episode. It's called the seven habits of highly effective mediocre people, and it's absolutely amazing. And if you've heard of James Altucher before, or if you've watched these other review videos, then you're gonna probably know that he's been an amazing author. He's an amazing investor, entrepreneur who's got a very controversial but also successful history, but also one that has where he has failed in some ventures, which I think the failure concept of it isn't something to think of as a negative thing as much as it is the idea that you can learn a lot from it. And on top of that, investor, entrepreneur, podcaster, and right now he's got a video series on Amazon Prime called the Choose Yourself, the James Altucher story. And there's a link in the description below that you can go check that out right now. And if you're also watching this and you haven't heard of James Altucher, stay tuned because you're going to be in for a surprise just from this review video. That's how impactful this show or this series it's so impactful because I've had the opportunity to learn from it, even though I've seen his stuff, some of his stuff before. I've had the opportunity to get a lot of great things out of it. And in terms of this specific episode of this concept of the seven habits of highly effective mediocre people, I think this is such an interesting episode because when you think about like some of the really most successful people in the world, the athletes, the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, the Warren Buffetts, the Richard Bransons, the Jack Welches, the Meg Whitmans, the Oprah Winfreys, the Tony Robbinses, the Grant Cardones, the Gary Vaynerchuks, all of those people seem to support this mentality that life is hustle hard, hustle, work your tail off, and outwork the next person, be a master networker, be assertive, learn how to negotiate, and all of these really valuable skills and these like habits and attitudes that help to create a successful person. But implementing all of them together to become a very effective person can be so difficult. And I think it's great that this episode does an amazing job of tackling the idea that we're all humans. We all have these skills that are necessary to thrive, which include things like negotiation and persuasion and being assertive and overcoming procrastination. But at the same level, like, those are the skills that people want or wish they have so that they can become more successful, or they believe that we need. But at the same time, as humans, we also have these other things that can hinder us, like procrastination, like the idea that we might not be a master networker, we might not be naturally incredibly social. And this idea that James Altucher was able to find so much success and be able to bring them down into these to condense them, these concepts that made him successful into this handful of habits that he believes helps make him successful. But at the same time, these are all things that are achievable by everybody. And these are probably some things that you're already doing. And you might think of procrastination as something negative, but at the end of the day, James Altucher has made this specific episode, episode 6, on the seven habits of highly effective mediocre people, because we are all at some level have some of these traits that might not be painted in the books or by the motivational speakers or as like the key trait of success. But at the end of the day, these are some of the traits that can help us become who we are and can also help you become very successful. For example, and I'm not going to share the entire all 7 traits. Watch the show. It's absolutely amazing. But this idea of, when you're trying too hard to be unique and trying to stand out, it's a good thing. And it is very helpful if you're able to be very successful at it. A mentor of mine, Joe Vitale, in one of his programs, he talks about the idea that, if you want to get attention, paint your hair or paint your nails pink, right? So, it's one thing to stand out and to do all of that, but you can still be very successful by doing a lot of the regular things well. Like, for example, if you're going to become a speaker, then if you could become very good at speaking, and if you could pick a common topic and speak to that better than everything else, and if you can, make a better team for production better than, the others, and if you're able to, pick up each of these individual little skills that help make you you, that's where that uniqueness comes from, as opposed to, painting your hair pink, dyeing your or what's it called, piercing your ears, wearing some wild t-shirts, doing some crazy body modifications, and then naming yourself after a plant. You don't have to go through to those extremes, but at the end of the day, if that is what you do, then that's what you do, and that would make you unique. But at the end of the day, I don't want to call people in general mediocre, but the idea that mediocre or average or just the regular everyday person has this opportunity to be able to find their strengths, and that is an amazing message that I got from this episode. And there's so many more. There's 6 more, and even you watching this will probably get a completely different thing out of it. So we've all got different stories, but with that, be sure to check out episode 6. Watch the entire season 1 through 8, and this video is specifically about episode 6. And leave a comment, share this video, subscribe, like it, and share a comment about what you think about this video and what you think about the series in general after you've seen it. And with that, I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and thank you for tuning in, for spending the time to read or listen to or watch what I have to share. And I wish you the absolute best. So thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.